The stories. Muranga County has been named the most corrupt county in a corruption index report by the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission. The survey was done back in 2016 and names the Interior Ministry as the most corrupt of all ministries as well. Laura Otieno now joins us live. A very good afternoon to you, Laura. What are the other highlights from that report?
Well, a very good afternoon to you, Indimuli, and indeed, as you had said, today the EACC has released a National Corruption Survey report which ranks Muranga County at the highest prevalence corruption rate, standing at 90%, and we had Trans Nzoia coming in second, followed by the Rakanithi there at a close range as well. And as you mentioned, indeed, the state, the Ministry of Interior was mentioned as the most corrupt, followed by the Ministry of Education. We have various ministries making it there to the top 5. But then maybe just to give it some perspective, Fred, this survey was conducted in 2016 between the months of August and September, so it's reflective of what was happening at that time in the county. And considering it is just 3 years after voting in the devolved system of governance, it was quite interesting to hear that even counties, the Ministry of Devolution was also mentioned among the top 5 as the most corrupt ministries on that list. So some of the things that the people who were conducted or rather selected for that survey, were made to understand that about 5,000 households participated in that survey. And what we are being told is that they felt like devolution was bringing some sort of corruption down to the grassroots, with ministries such as the devolved ministries, including health, being adversely mentioned as places where people do not quite access services. And basically what the EACC was trying to do was to break the ice and try and find the reasons why such cases will be reported to the counties. And most people feel like when you go to a public hospital, you need to know a few people, or you need to ruffle a few feathers before you can access services. And the ministry, counties are also mentioned, especially in terms of tendering, where they were saying people have to part with unimaginable amounts of money just to get tenders awarded to them. So most people of those who are, of course, participated in the survey felt that devolution really devolved not only governance but also corruption was also brought down to those levels. We had Busia County having an average of 80,000 shillings being paid as bribe to access general services in the county. And of course, one of the things they were looking at when they're conducting this survey, they were saying that there's an increased people seek more government services. This can be attributed to the formation of the the e-portal, where you can access immigration services, birth certificates, and what have you. And they're saying that in as much as there is technological advancement in that sector, there's still some sort of corruption, because when you go physically to these offices, then they feel like people have to pay bribes. And quite interestingly, another thing was that some people felt like they are obliged to pay bribes. Some of the time they're not asked to pay bribes, but rather they just do it out of their own accord. So those are some of the major highlights that were captured in the report released by the EACC of the survey conducted in 2016. And of course, the chairman, the retired Right Reverend Wabukala, was saying that they're expecting to see a difference in the subsequent years, that is 2017 and 2018, considering they want to curb that, because they're saying that them as EACC, they have been able so far since it took the helm 1 year later to sort of devolve, or rather to break the ice and convict some people. So of course we'll be breaking into that report and delving into it and giving you the figures as they emerge, Fred.
Yes, thank you, Laura Otieno there, giving us some of the highlights from that report by the EACC, which have listed Interior Ministry as well as Muranga County as some of the most corrupt establishments.